In the latest step towards a concession, President Trump has said he will leave the White House if the Electoral College vote for Joe Biden. He was answering a question during his annual Thanksgiving call to the US military.
It's going to be a very hard thing to concede because we know there was massive fraud. I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead.
So if the Electoral College does elect President-elect Joe Biden, are you not going to leave this building?
Just so you... certainly I will. Certainly I will. And you know that.
Well, let's speak to our correspondent in Washington, Helen Ann Smith. He's nudging towards a concession there, reluctantly by the sound of it, Helen Ann.
Yeah, it's just the latest in a series of hints that the president might be accepting the reality of the situation. As you say, nudging towards that concession, but with none of the typical hallmarks that we might expect of a concession. This event is just... So it's symptomatic, if you like, of some of the contradictions we've heard from the president throughout this week. To one question, asked whether he would leave the White House on January the 20th when Biden is inaugurated, he said, of course I will. But just a few answers apart from that, one of the other reporters asked him if he had any plans for his last Thanksgiving in the White House, Thanksgiving today in the US, and he railed in response to that question, talking about a rigged election, talking about it being stolen from him. I think it is part of a developing picture that we're seeing from the president. I think from his actions and from his words, he does understand the reality of the situation. He knows he'll be leaving the White House. He's done things such as approve the beginning of the transition process here in Washington this week. He's done things like start to pardon some of his political allies, normally an act of an outgoing president. So I think he does accept the reality, but I don't think we will ever necessarily hear that formal concession from him, because this narrative that the election was somehow stolen from him, that there was fraud, that it was rigged, it's likely that he will continue to use this platform for whatever he does next, be that potentially a 2024 re-election bid or indeed something else. Many thousands of Americans still passionately support and believe him, and it's perhaps for them that he will continue to remain this narrative in public that there was fraud going on. But I think it's looking increasingly likely now that come January the 20th, he will leave the White House, albeit perhaps not quietly.
And planning a big rally in Georgia on Saturday, he said, campaigning for the Republican senators there. Helen Ann, thank you.